This is my audience. Alrighty. Mumps, measles, whooping cough. Now, these were all diseases thought to be wiped out as of the year 2000, and they have recently resurfaced due to an anti-vaccination movement on the rise. And now, if you haven't heard of this movement, it's basically parents deciding not to vaccinate their kids because of fear of really dangerous symptoms that are completely over-exaggerated, and they're skeptical why we still need vaccines because they look around and they don't see diseases like mumps and measles anymore. But what they don't realize is we don't have those diseases because of continuous vaccinations throughout the years. Now, a couple reasons why we need to pay attention to this issue. The first one is increased number of outbreaks in the United States and all over the world of these wiped out diseases. Now, there have been measles outbreaks in Indiana and New York, and there was a big outbreak of whooping cough in Japan, and one of the most significant ones was the outbreak of mumps in the United States. Now, this is a chart of mumps outbreaks by year in the United States. And as you can see, in the 2000s, we're all pretty steady, low number of outbreaks, but we had an outbreak in 2006 and some smaller outbreaks in 2009 and 2010, and it has been on the rise ever since. Now, with some more specific information on mumps, before vaccinations, there were 186,000 cases in the United States each year of mumps. And in 2012, we brought it down to 229 cases. And then more recently, in 2017, there have already been 3,886 cases of this disease. All right, and then the second reason why we need to pay attention to this issue is the miseducation of young America because of this anti-vaccination conspiracy. So it's mainly growing through social media, which is mainly young people, which is really concerning to me because that is the future of America. And if we're believing this conspiracy not based on evidence, it's concerning for what the future will look like for us. And they're claiming things like it's a cover-up for a completely different government agenda, which they have absolutely no evidence to back it up. So there's nothing to say about that. And they are also claiming the vaccine side effects are much worse than they are. On the CDC's website, it actually says the side effects are minor, such as like a sore arm or low-grade fever, and the extreme side effects are really rare cases that they're just exploiting in this movement. So basically they're claiming the symptoms are way more awful than they actually are, basically scaring America out of vaccinating their kids. Now, one of their biggest claims is that vaccinations cause autism, which is completely false, and there's no evidence to back it up. What it really is there's a similar timing to when you get your kids vaccinated when they're about a toddler, and that's right about the time when they begin showing symptoms of autism and they can identify it. So they're really just proving a correlation, not a causation. So just because two things happen near the same time doesn't mean one caused the other. And there have actually been 9 CDC studies proving there is no relationship between vaccines and autism. And my last point in this miseducation of young America, it has lots of celebrity influence, which is really keeping the movement going. One of the biggest, most popular supporters of this movement is President Trump, and he said in his presidential campaign that one of his employees' sons got vaccinated and developed autism, which is a complete anecdote. It's just one case, and that does not prove that vaccines cause autism in any way. And now, there's a simple solution to this problem. All we have to do is educate America on why this is an issue and get people to vaccinate themselves and their kids. It isn't enough for just some of us to be vaccinated. We need most, if not all, of America to be vaccinated. And the reason for this is vaccines aren't always 100%. There's still a small chance you could get the disease even if you are vaccinated. So with more people not being vaccinated, they can contract this disease, spread it to even vaccinated people, and it'll really just increase the spread of this disease. So it isn't just about protecting ourselves and our kids, but protecting everyone. So to visualize what it would be like without vaccines, I've got some facts about before we had vaccines. So nearly everyone in the U.S. got measles before we had vaccines, and hundreds of people died every year. And in 1964 to 65, there was an epidemic of German measles in the United States. It affected 12.5 million Americans, and it killed 2,000 babies, and it caused 11,000 miscarriages. And when we got the vaccine, since 2012, only 15 cases have been reported to the CDC. A big change because of vaccines. And then in Japan, a more concrete example, in 1974, 80% of the kids got the whooping cough vaccine. And that year, they only had 393 cases of whooping cough. And then as people got skeptical of vaccines and the numbers dropped, in 1979, 10% of kids got the vaccine, and there were 13,000 cases of this disease, and 41 people died. And then when vaccines resumed, the numbers dropped again. So basically what I'm telling you is the numbers don't lie. If you have more people getting the vaccine, there'll be less cases of these diseases and an increased chance that we could wipe out these diseases altogether and keep them wiped out. So all we have to do to avoid national, even global tragedy is to get ourselves vaccinated, get our kids vaccinated, and encourage others to get vaccinated. So what I'm asking you to do is take action. Educate those you know and those you love about this issue and encourage them to do their own research about this issue. And discourage the spread of these falsified, non-evidence-based conspiracy theories from anti-vaxxers. And vaccinate your kids and yourself. So I'm going to vaccinate my kids. I'm going to stop the spread of potentially deadly diseases. And I'm going to protect the future of America. Now the only question is, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah.